Algernon's October with the check-in on Hip Hop United. We have a survivor here with us today that's going to talk about how she overcame a multitude of life challenges to become reborn as the beautiful lotus flower that we see here today. We got Lasha Peyton. How you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so glad to be here.
Coming in here with the green, got everything going, the hair's flowing.
I
How
tried
you
to put
feeling?
it together. I'm feeling amazing. I woke up this morning and I just thanked God, just for another day and just the opportunity. So I'm always grateful.
Absolutely. Well, you have written a autobiographical survivor guide for anyone that's going through extreme situations involving violence, mental health, and all the things. Tell us more about your journey and what led you to create this body of work called Lotus.
Okay. What made me decide to go ahead and do this survivor's memoir is I transitioned to the West Coast probably about 3 years ago. So, in that transition, I was trying to adjust to the change. My mind was still very blurry and clouded. I decided to do a mental cleanse. And that mental cleanse consisted of me getting in the gym, meditating, fasting, staying consistent with that. And through that, I gained a bit of clarity. And so one day I woke up and something just said, like, you have a testimony, and it needs to get out. Your story will help several people. You can no longer keep, this in, as you are, your story has to get out. And so I guess it was truly the grace of God. After that, I reached out to my now publisher and I said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And it wasn't far-fetched. It's about my life, so everything is right here. I just needed to, get it on paper. And I got the draft over to her, and within an hour of reading my book, she called me and she was like, hey, we've got to get this done. This is an amazing story. I dropped several tears. I drank about 3 glasses of wine, reading this draft. And she said, this is amazing. This is an amazing piece. And so it's been up from there.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, you talk a lot about your mother's mental health challenges and how they impacted your life as an adult. How important is it for people to address these types of issues early?
Well, the problem is everyone is scared to address them at all. In the Black community, at least 1 out of 5 people in the household struggle from a mental illness. You're not going to meet too many African American people who don't know of someone with a mental illness, whether it be a distant family member, a friend, it's someone in their family, because it affects us at such a high rate. My mother never accepted it, still to this day. But I talk about me forgiving her for everything that I went through as a child in the book. And I don't think that day will ever come, because being that she has, that issue, I think acceptance is the first part of getting the help you need when, you're dealing with a mental illness. And a lot of us don't want to accept that.
Right.
So.
Understand. What do you want readers to take away from the book?
First, I want them to realize that, life is full of challenges. Life is a journey to be lived. We are supposed to go through things so we can prosper in life, so we can learn in life, so we can share our stories to other people. When you have faith in God, us as his servants, we're supposed to spread the word. That's our job.
Right.
As God's servants, we're here to spread the word. I'm here to spread the word of mental health, domestic violence. I touch base on childhood trauma. I touch base on sexual assault from one of my family members. My breast cancer survival journey. I want people to know that they can get through whatever struggle they are going through. Some people see a dead end. I was in a domestic violence shelter at 18 years old with a newborn baby, and I didn't think there was anywhere else for me to be at. But I got out of that. At the time, I didn't see a way out,
Right.
but I got through that. That was just another journey in my life. I realized that, and I had to get through that to prosper.
Yeah, and you mentioned, what you had overcome. I was going to say in your own health issues and such like that. What's the thing that really helped you survive that? I know you mentioned your faith, but what's the thing that really helped push you through such a traumatic time period?
My children. I have 4 children. My first is my son, and then I have 3 girls. My children. My youngest daughter was 1 years old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and after my first surgery, I couldn't even pick her up. And every day she wanted me to pick her up. Every day she wanted what she's used to, me picking her up,
Right,
holding
right.
her, consoling her. I could not pick her up for several weeks after my surgery, and it just hurt me. Every time she wanted to get a hug, wanted to be embraced by her mother. And one day I was just like, I have to continue this fight. I had radiation treatment after my double mastectomy. And so my first surgery wasn't it. I had to continue the fight, to make sure that, I was healthy again for my children. That's the only thing that got me through that, and in my faith in God.
Got you. I got you. Why did you choose the title Lotus for your book?
Well, the lotus flower is surrounded by, I'll use the word detriment.
Okay.
Everything around it is dead, gloomy. But the lotus flower seems to stay clean throughout everything around it. And so I felt that represented me and my story. Everything around me was tragedy, sadness, gloomy, unhappiness. I still maintained who I was. I still woke up every morning with a smile on my face. I still made sure I walked around with my head held high. Several people read my book and was like, I could not believe that you went through this.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff that I had on my shoulders that, again, I wasn't ready to let the world know about.
Right.
Some of that stuff was, I developed PTSD through my domestic violence in my earlier high school years. So a lot of that, it was very traumatic. And again, I just still continue to stay clean and come out on top and flourish in life and keep my faith and be happy and spread the word and be just a positive individual in the community.
Yeah. And the lotus flower also represents a rebirth.
It
And
does.
that's actually what you experienced and what you went through.
It does.
What was your writing process like for this book? Like, did it all come at once, or did you kind of piece it together? I know you told us about the moment where you sent it to your editor, but in general, the story, how did it kind of come to you?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it wasn't far-fetched. This is the stories about my life. So everything was just,
There.
was there.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't have a way. I didn't want to talk to people about it. I did go to therapy and all of that, but even still, a lot of that I never even brought out in my therapy sessions. So some people say, like, does therapy really work? When you go to therapy, you have to really be honest with this person so they can give you a reflection of what they see for you to get the help that you need and
Right.
for it to be effective. But it wasn't far-fetched. Everything was pretty much right there. The story is from my adolescence all the way up to now. So, yeah.
What did you learn about yourself during this whole process?
I learned that I am a powerful woman. I learned that when I walk in rooms, my aura comes with me, and I don't even have to say anything. Um, I realize that I am a child of God and I am truly blessed despite everything that I went through. You know, um, I had a family friend whose father just passed away from cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
And thank you. Every time I hear about someone passing with cancer, um, survivor's guilt,
Yeah.
it always tumbles down on me
Right.
instantly. Um, but I still maintain my mental and I'm still able to fight out of that, and still keep my head held high and stay focused on, you know, being a good mother to my kids, continuing to spread the word and just being, a positive influence for the people who need the help.
Gotcha. Gotcha. If you could speak to a younger version of yourself, knowing everything that you know today, what would you say?
I'd say slow down. I'd say slow down. I was outside early. I jumped off the porch early. And so when you do that, you start to experience a lot of things that you shouldn't experience until you're an adult because you're more prepared, I would say, mentally to, deal with a lot of those things. I started early and I should have just stayed in the moment, stayed young, not try to, um, what we say in the black community, be grown. Yeah. Not try to be an adult so soon because me trying to do that put me in a lot of terrible situations that probably could have been avoided if I just would have sat down.
Understandable. Understandable. Now, in the book, you talk about your mother's issues with mental health. How's your relationship with her today, and how does she feel about what you wrote?
Me and my mom have a great relationship. Um, I love her to death. A lot of people are like, it's crazy. It's kind of weird hearing you say that after all the things that you went through. But it took me to get older and deal with that with my son as well to realize that, you know, that was something that she couldn't help at the time.
Yeah.
And so I forgave her. For me to get the peace that I needed in life, I had to forgive everyone that wronged me. I had to. That was the only way that I was able to feel free. And I love my mom. That's my girl. That's my girl. She has not read the book, but she supports it. She does not, fully know what's in there. I'm sure she'll read it one day. Um, but I hope that she decides to get to the end of the book where I praise our relationship and I'm grateful for her and where we are now today.
Yeah, I hope so too. Now, what does
Thank
life
you.
look like for you today? After all of that, I saw you walking tall in your purpose with big, sexy, looking strong and beautiful. How is life today?
Life is grand. Life is grand. I am so at peace. It feels amazing. Um, the weight of the world is off of my shoulders. I'm just free as a bird, and it feels so good. Um, I am trying to push my book a little further. I'd actually like to see it on the big screen soon.
Okay.
So
Okay.
right now I'm in the works of trying to, go ahead and get a script together and make this work.
Nice.
I'm also gonna write a book on each chapter in Lotus. So I'm gonna continue my Lotus collection. So this won't be the last.
Okay.
Everybody's asking for more, for more, for more, and so I'm gonna give them that. Um, like I said, I'm just so happy right now.
Yeah. Sounds like the deluxe edition is coming out
It's
soon.
it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
You trying to go talk to Tyler and them up the block
You
and
know,
see,
you
see if we
know,
can get it popping?
what's crazy is in a perfect world, I would get my book in his hands. I would love, for Tyler Perry to produce my movie. In a perfect world, I watched Straw as we all did, and
Yeah, it's a heavy flick.
that movie triggered me. Amazing. Taraji did outstanding, outstanding. But I cried from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. And my daughter was just like, "Mommy, why you crying? Why you crying?" I was just like, "Baby, you just don't understand.
Yeah,
That was mommy.
yeah,
That was mommy,
yeah.
I remember the days I needed money for your lunch and I didn't have it. It was that movie, it just did something to me, but it was so amazing. And I truly believe that my story is worth such great excellence as well. And so, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're rooting for you. We're rooting for you over here.
We'll see what happens.
For the ladies that are currently outside, as you say, and on the dating scene, what are some signs that they can look for to avoid being in a domestic situation? What's some advice you can give?
Good question. Good question. Um, a lot of women like when men are, um, I'll use the word, possessive. That's what it is.
Okay.
They call you several times a day. They want to keep tabs on you. They want to know where you are. A lot of times they want to be with you all the time. So as a young girl, you're like, "Oh, okay, like this is great." You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
loves me. You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag. Little do you know.
Mm-hmm.
For him to not want to be apart from you at all, for him to want to keep tabs on you on such a consistent basis, that's not normal. For him to know your every move, for him to not want you to be around your family and friends and want you to spend more time with him, he's being selfish. And so again, that's a red flag. That is a sign of him being the beginning signs of being possessive. And so you got to look for that. You got to look for that. Also, when you're dating a man, try to get to know his background. A lot of women just see the appearance, what's up front. I'm sorry, sis, but ask him how his childhood was growing up. Ask him
Yeah.
if his parents are together. Ask him if his father is in his life or if he has a father figure in his life. Because it doesn't have to be his father. Ask those questions because those questions are going to be very important in the long run. Trust me. So it may seem a lot when you're first meeting somebody, but you need to know these things. You need to know these things for your protection in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, look at the people he surrounds himself with. If he's surrounding himself with people, with men who are out here not taking care of their children, all those are red flags. Men that are out here sleeping with several women at the same time, those are red flags.
Yeah.
So you gotta open your eyes. It may sound like you're being, Inspector Gadget, but trust me, it's gonna be beneficial to you. You can avoid a lot of hardship asking those questions in the beginning.
No, that absolutely makes sense, and I love
And
the advice.
likewise for women too. Men, y'all ask these women those questions. Was your mom and your father in the household? Look at the females that she surrounds herself with. It's not just men. It's on both sides.
Yeah. So be mindful
Yes.
and intentional with everything that you do as it
Absolutely.
relates to dating and everything as well. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, we support you. We love everything that you're doing. If you could tell everybody where to find you, where they can get the book, and of course anything else you got coming up next.
All right. Well, my book is available on Amazon.com. It's Lotus, a Survivor's Memoir. It is Amazon's top-selling survivor's memoir with 5 stars right now. So you guys make sure that you go to Amazon and cop this book. It is definitely a game changer. Again, it's about my life, and it'll definitely interest you. Um, I am on IG at Lasha Peyton. If you'd like to follow me. Again, right now, hopefully you guys will see a film spearing up soon within the next year or two. I'm working on that right now, and I am also working on my collection of Lotus that'll be available on Amazon as well. So you guys, y'all, this isn't it for me. I'm just getting started.
Hey, big things on the
I'm
horizon and
just
big
getting
things
started.
already happened. I'm looking forward to you stepping out the way you did in that video with that big smile. You were looking good. You were
Thank
looking
you so
free.
much.
And you were looking like you definitely on the path to greatness and
Thank
all of
you.
that. So we continue to support you. We can't wait to have you back when you start talking about movies and films and stuff like that.
Thank
so
you.
we're looking forward to supporting you. But in general, we appreciate you. We can't wait to have you come back. Lasha Payton, you've been officially checked in with Hip Hop
Let's
United.
go.